Hey everybody. My regular viewers know that anytime I get a new device or product or something that I find to be particularly useful and I think other people might get the benefit of, I always try to shoot some video about it, and this is going to be no exception to that. This is a DeWALT jump starter. And my wife was in an accident recently, and when we got the truck back from the collision center, we were having issues with the electrical system, and I did not want her to come out from work at 10 o'clock at night in a dark parking lot to a dead battery. I wasn't sure if it was the battery, I wasn't sure if it was the charging system or the alternator. It was operating really funny, and of course with new modern cars where everything is computer operated and electrical, I'm not really familiar with what exactly was going on with there. So I got this so she would have it just in case, and fortunately that scenario never played out, but we did have to use it to get the truck started the following morning in the driveway, and this thing cranked the truck over with more force than the brand new battery that I ultimately wound up putting in the truck. I couldn't believe how forcefully this turned her truck over. It's a 3.5 V6, so it's not a huge engine to turn over, but this thing generates 1400 cranking amps, so that will turn a big truck motor over. If you got a big V8 or whatever, no issues there. So the thing I really liked about it was in order to use it to jumpstart, you turn it to the on position, and it's got a really loud beep. Everything you do is a very loud beep. That's kind of annoying, but otherwise no biggie. So you turn it to the on position, it tells you how much charge it's got and all that good stuff. And then when it's in that on position, you hook it to your battery and you go ahead and you start your vehicle, and it starts right up. When it's in the off position, you can use all the other little options it's got on here, and one of them is an alternator test button, which with the truck running and it hooked up, I was able to just simply hit that alternator test button, and it sat there and ran for about 30 seconds while it checked the system, and then it popped up telling me the alternator was good. And so that way I knew simply replacing the battery was going to solve our problems, and it did. So this thing almost paid for itself in the fact that I didn't have to have the electrical system checked by a professional. I was able to simply check the alternator, at least by pushing that little button. It also has USB ports. You can charge stuff. You got to turn them on. It has a set of lights, working lights on the back. They're not terribly bright, but if you were using this at the roadside at night, that would be more than ample light to change a tire, or if you really needed to, you can inflate your tire because it also has 120 psi air compressor built into it, so you can actually inflate your tires with this little unit. Really neat little device. Everything wraps up and tucks in, and it's got its own little clamp, so it's very self-contained. I'd say it weighs maybe 12 or 15 pounds. It's not heavy. The way you charge it is you actually take it inside and you plug it in with an extension cord, or you can hook this up and plug it into the USB port in your, or the what used to be called the cigarette lighter adapter or whatever in your car, and you can plug it in and you'll get a much slower charge, but it will charge it that way as well. And then this is the cord for the air compressor, and then you just pull this out and screw the little nozzle onto your tire valve, and then when you've got it set to air, you can run up or down and set the pressure you want to set it at, and then I guess just turn it on. I've never actually used the air compressor, so I'm not sure how that works. It's probably set, and then you turn it to on with the air turned on, and the compressor will come on. Maybe it has to be screwed in or something, I don't know. Oh, there we go. So there you go. I don't even think you have to turn it on. I think you just push the air button a couple of times and the second time initiates it or something like that. At any rate, it's got the air compressor on there. All of that works great. So I will put a link down below to this. Again, it was a lifesaver. Very budget friendly for what you get. I was really surprised at how cheap it was, and I'm really happy with what we've been able to do with it so far. And I definitely sleep better at night knowing that this is in the back of my wife's truck in case she ever gets stuck on the side of the road with a low tire or her battery doesn't start or whatever. She's now got this. So thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful to somebody. I'll see you real soon in the next one.